episode 24 Boomer Guitar Sessions. Today we get into the art of bending notes on a guitar. Bending notes on guitar has its roots in the work songs in the cotton fields and the way the workers sang the song, and they bent their notes and they elaborated their notes in ways that the English and the French and the German and the Europeans, they never thought of this. So they thought it was like when they came over and they listened to our people in New Orleans playing jazz, like early jazz, they said they thought it was a trick. They thought they were playing instruments that weren't legit. They were messing around with the instruments, and it was the way the instrument was played that made the difference. It wasn't the fact that that Buddy Bolden had a different instrument. Okay. So anyway, all of that is to say, the reason people bend notes on a guitar was to make their notes sound like the human voice when it is sung in a work song in that kind of environment. And that's where the blues came from. All those work song melodies and all the stuff that they came with up on the fly, that's where it came from. So now what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss the first ways in which we can bend notes on a guitar. With that said, we have two things we want to keep in mind. Two things we want to keep in mind is when we bend notes, we're not bending to an arbitrary pitch. People, when they bend notes, they know that they have control over, and they're understanding of there's many ways in which to bend notes, but it isn't arbitrary. So you have half step bends, you have different kinds of bends, whole step, quarter step, double bends, all these different kinds of bends, but it's very purposeful. That is the first thing to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is whenever we bend a note on the higher frets, we use the lower fret fingers as leverage. Okay, so if I'm bending a note like this, and I'm always pushing up when I bend a note, most people are pushing up on the top three strings, I should say. All right, so we're going to get into it in a bit. Whole step bend. When I say a whole step bend, everything's going to be done in A minor, by the way. We're going to keep everything, and everything can be done in A blues or some sort of a rock riff, A minor riff. Okay, so whole step bend with the A minor pentatonic. Okay, what a whole step bend is, I take this note and I bend it up a whole step, where I land on that note a whole step away. All right, so it's going to sound like this. That's a whole step bend. Now, like that, the half step bend is just by doing that bending of the notes. That's that blues sound we're looking for. Okay, the quarter step bend is going to be just a nudge. Just a nudge. Step and a half bend. So that's going to be 3 frets away that we're bending. All right. The double bend is the idea that after the minor third, we can go higher and higher and higher. Okay? The pre-bend is bending it first and then playing the note. The unison bend. This is popular in rock, like rock and blues rock and. Unison bend was what I'm doing is I'm bending up the bottom note to. Bending that third string up to the second string. All right. Release bend. Bend release. Bend release. Then the next thing is going to be bend and then apply tremolo. So shake it, bend it. End of phrases, you want to be shaking the note. The last thing that we do, we get from the Van Halen, the Billy Gibbons, the Brian May. That camp was going to be the Eddie Van Halen. We can't forget Eddie Van Halen. Harvey Mandel. So what I'm hoping is that these 10 methods of bending notes inspired you and got you thinking and got you putting, this is like a rabbit hole we all need to go down to. What I would do is I would get a backing track and I would work these things out and play phrases over scales and bend the notes, experiment with all the different things, and then listen to the people that play them and copy some of their licks, and then go back to adding those kind of things to your vocabulary. So this is Rod, Boomer Guitar Sessions, episode 24. You can do this. I believe in you. I'm grateful for you, and see you next time. Hi, this is Rod from Boomer Guitar Sessions. I personally wanted to thank you for being part of our community. If you like what we're doing here and you want to see more of it, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. And this helps me spread my musical messages to all over the world. Thank you. I appreciate you. And always remember, you can do this.